I brought good news to you. The devil is using every weapon possible. Every weapon possible. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. He's using every weapon possible. And you must not think that the same weapon he was using in the 2,000 years ago is the same weapon he's using now. In those days, he was using leprosy. We don't have leprosy now. We have deaths. And Jesus came to set free the captives. And indeed, one day he met Peter, who was a captive of a particular loan which he had not paid his taxes. And Jesus said, we have to fix this thing now. He said, go by the river and catch the fish. He said, inside the mouth of the fish, you will find the money. Go and pay your taxes. Setting the captives free. And there was one moment when Jesus walked out like this, and he found people, and everybody was hungry. They said they're so hungry. And then he asked, he said, do you have any food? They said, we don't. The only thing we have, loaves, 3 loaves and 2 fish. He said, oh, he said, that is enough. And people were about to go home hungry. There was a crisis of hunger. He said, this is the moment we have to set the captives free. If you ask me, how did he set the captives free? I'll give you examples in the Bible that they are similar to your situation. That's how he was setting the captives free. So you may be in church speaking tongues, but you may be under a particular captivity. Am I talking to somebody here? You might have dates, you might have financial crises that you don't know who to run to, where to run to, who to talk to. Every bank is denying you. Any person doesn't want to help you. You are in a particular captivity. Though you speak in tongues, though you are a child of God, but there is a captivity that must end, and must end in this month. I want you to raise up your right hand and say, there must be an action.
Must be an action.
I'm telling you, an action must be done. Something must be done. I stood upon the rock. I was praying and I went on top of a rock. I said, God, what must I do? I was hitting my head. I didn't know what to do. He said, set my people free. Liberate my people. I didn't know what to do. I went on top of the stone. I climbed on top of the stone and I asked God, what must I do? There was no answer. I sat on the rock. I shook my head. I said, what must I do? I walked further into the bush as I was praying. I stood under this big tree and I put my whole body against it. I said, God, what do you say? What are you saying? He said, liberate my people. I said, how? I asked him, I said, that's what I do every day. I said, how? He said, for everybody who shall be very serious. He said, I want you to take this message, that I want to set them free from any captivity they have. I said, God, what are you talking about? I was confused. He said, at the right time, I will tell you. He said, leave. I said, I'm not leaving. I'm not leaving. I stood there. I prayed and prayed and prayed. He said, leave, go. At the right time, I will tell you. And he disappeared. I stayed for another 5 hours praying, and there was silence and there was no message from God until I left. This month, as we're about to approach into the month, I spoke to my wife in the morning. I said, I just had a vision. She said, what is it? And I began to narrate the vision to her. And during the day, God said, the meaning of that vision is the time for that liberation has come. Somebody say, I provoke a reaction. Are you here, somebody? So the Bible speaks, and I want you to hear this. It says, ask and it shall be given. Seek and it shall be found. Knock. For he who asks receives. I once told you that you can only ask what you have never had. For example, $1 million. You have never had it. You can ask God and you can receive it. The problem is we have got people who don't know how to ask. They just say, Father, I pray, I need a financial breakthrough. Be particular. Mention the figure. You ask what you have never had. But the problem with you, you actually confuse things. It says, ask and you shall receive. Seek and you shall find. You can't seek what you never had before. You can only seek if you had something before and you lost it. So we have got people who are asking instead of seeking, and the people who are seeking instead of asking. Angels are confused. They're like, what is she talking about? She never had this thing before. And the way she's praying, as if she had it before. Father, oh Lord, I need it now. Like, did you have it before? Seeking prayers in asking atmosphere. Ask, seek, and knock. When we knock, we make a prayer where there is we want someone inside to wake up. So when I knock at your door and you're not opening, but I know you are inside, what do? The only person who knocks and leaves is a person who believes there's nobody. But faith tells us God is inside. So we keep on what? You didn't hear me? Some of you knocked and you left. You prayed for something and it took 2 months, 3 months. There was no answer. You left. The whole month we are knocking, sir. Are you understanding what I'm talking to you? We are knocking the whole month until the door opens. Do you hear me? There is someone inside. Ask, and it shall be given. Knock, and it shall what? It shall be opened. It says, seek, and you shall find. For anyone who asks, receives. Come on, someone say, I hear you, prophet. Are you ready to ask? Are you ready to ask? Hey, so what do I ask? What do I ask? You ask what you never had. So what have you never had before?